Center, Alaska 261. We are in a dive here. But we've lost vertical control of our airplane.
The Alaska Airlines MD-83 zooms over the California coast. It's a routine, calm flight, like hundreds that take off and land every day. But suddenly, a metallic explosion rocks the plane. The aircraft plummets, passengers scream, and in the cockpit, the pilots struggle with unresponsive controls. The plane plummets violently, as if dragged into the Pacific Ocean. The seconds seem endless, and when everything indicates there's no way out, the pilots achieve the impossible: stabilize it. The momentary silence in the cockpit is mistaken for hope, for the idea that the worst is over. But that calm is merely a cruel deception, because just moments later, the plane loses control again, tilting dramatically. Now, the battle seems impossible to win. What was supposed to be an ordinary flight between Puerto Vallarta and San Francisco would end up becoming one of the most shocking tragedies in the history of modern aviation. And in the next few minutes, you'll find out what really happened inside Alaska Airlines Flight 261. It was the afternoon of January 31st, 2000. Alaska Airlines Flight 261, a McDonnell Douglas MD-83, was preparing to take off from Puerto Vallarta, bound for San Francisco. A total of 88 people were on board. For all of them, it was an ordinary flight, but in just a few minutes, it would turn into an unforgettable nightmare. In the cockpit were Captain Ted Thompson, with more than 17,000 flight hours, and First Officer Bill Tansky, with almost 9,000. Two experienced pilots, respected for their professionalism. No one could have imagined they would be tested in a way they had never faced before. The initial atmosphere was that of any vacation trip. Children playing, couples resting, families eager to return home. Everything seemed calm, but that calm was deceptive. The plane was already carrying a hidden problem, one that had been reported some time ago and that afternoon was about to manifest itself in the worst way. It was the horizontal stabilizer, a critical component that keeps the plane level in flight. Without it, controlling the aircraft would be virtually impossible. And just as the MD-83 was gaining altitude, the pilots would begin to sense that something was wrong. Mid-climb, the pilots feel something unsettling. The controls feel stiff, heavy, almost locked. It's not turbulence. It's the horizontal stabilizer, the part that keeps the plane level. Suddenly, the MD-83 pitches sharply downward. The captain and first officer pull with all their might to regain control. It's like fighting an invisible giant. From the ground, the engineers try to give instructions, but nothing seems to work. Every second, the plane's response worsens, and the crew already knows. If that stabilizer fails completely, there will be no way to control the plane. Suddenly, the stabilizer gives way. The plane plummets, as if it had lost its wings. Passengers are thrown against their seatbelts, drinks fly through the air, and screams fill the cockpit. In the cockpit, the pilots struggle with superhuman strength. The MD-83 plummets hundreds of meters in seconds, and all seems lost. But against all odds, they manage to stabilize it. The relief lasts only a moment, because everyone in the cockpit knows the fault is not resolved, and the next crash could be the last. For a moment, the plane seems to respond, but suddenly the stabilizer fails again. The MD-83 pitches down brutally, entering a second, even more violent dive. The pilots struggle, shout instructions, and try everything they can. The controls no longer respond. Every movement is useless. The plane spins, pitches, and begins to descend uncontrollably. And in that moment, everyone understands the truth. This is the final battle. The Alaska Airlines MD-83 is no longer responding. The cockpit is in chaos. The plane enters a final dive, descending at a speed impossible to control. The passengers feel gravity pulling them down, objects flying, and the sensation is that of an inevitable abyss. Outside, the blue Pacific sky contrasts with the desperation within. In the cockpit, Captain Ted Thompson and First Officer Bill Tansky continue fighting until the last second. They don't give up. Even though they know the aircraft is beyond recovery, their instinct is to keep fighting for every life on board. At 4:22 p.m., the plane crashed into the Pacific Ocean, about 4 kilometers off the coast of California. There were no survivors. And what you're about to hear is even more shocking: the actual audio from the black box of this flight. An authentic record of the last moments in the cockpit. Warning, discretion advised.
Feel that?
Yep. Okay, give me slats. This is a bit. Is this, yeah? Mayday! Okay, we are inverted. Now we gotta get it up. Push the blue side up. Okay, let's kick rudder. Left rudder. Left rudder. Okay, right rudder. Right rudder. Okay. We gotta get it over again. At least upside down we're flying. Speed brake. Got it. Here we go!
After months of analysis, the NTSB revealed the truth. The accident was not an aerial mystery, but a maintenance failure. The jack screw, an essential screw that moves the horizontal stabilizer, was worn due to lack of lubrication. A tiny part forgotten in the protocols had doomed Flight 261. The investigations pointed the finger at Alaska Airlines for negligence in its maintenance practices, and the tragedy forced the industry to strengthen safety controls so that something like this would never happen again. Flight 261 will be remembered for the tragedy, but also for the bravery of its pilots who fought until the last moment. The investigation left a clear lesson. In aviation, a single maintenance detail can mean the difference between life and death. Today, every time a plane takes off, it does so with stricter protocols, in memory of those who lost their lives on January 31st, 2000.